Let's start with high yield dividend stocks, because I know that is something that you wanted to stress the importance of, not just chasing the dividend yield.
Basically, I've been getting a lot of questions about different like high yield dividend companies and ETFs for that matter. And then I'll go and I'll take a look at a lot of them. And yeah, the yield will be extremely high, but I'll see the expense ratio and then I'll see the overall share performance, the price action of this particular company that they're asking me to take a look at. And um, there's a lot of cons when it comes to choosing these type of investments as a long-term strategy because of one, a high expense ratio, two, they're not very good long-term strategies because some of these like leverage ETFs and they have time decay already baked into the price action, so you could be potentially losing your high yield gains or paying a lot of it back in fees and taxes.
There are certain investments that pay a dividend. They give you basically a little piece, a little bit of the share of the profits monthly, quarterly, or annually. Instead of reinvesting that money back into the company, they have a certain percentage allocated to give to their shareholders. And they do this with the intent, I believe, that the shareholder will then buy more stock, reinvest it back into the company. So they're giving it to you, but at the same time, they want to encourage you to give it back and continue to build into the company. You have to weigh the good and the bad, like Prez is saying. This company, are they really in the place that they have the additional profits to be paying out such a high dividend to the investor? Or are they trying to entice you with the dividends and they really should be investing back into themselves and concentrating on other things? Is it going to be sustainable long term? You have to realize with the dividend yield, you invest for the dividend yield and the company can pause or eliminate a dividend. So you have to just be ready for all of it and just have your eyes open and do your research to know if chasing or investing into something based on their dividend, you have to have the whole picture in getting into it. Prez, what are your thoughts on what I'm saying here?
I see in the comments that Fast Eddie they made a good point. He says the other problem is their stock price usually goes down the amount of their dividend, and I've noticed that to be true in a lot of cases from
Yes.
different companies that I've had on my watch list and thought about investing into them because I saw this was such a high dividend yield. Like yeah, I was almost once victim of chasing high dividend yield as well until I really started doing my research. And the more research that I do, the more I figure out that slow and steady wins the race, and it's a marathon at the end of the day and not a sprint. It's like
Mhm.
we always, as investors or newbies into this space, look for ways to try to cut corners and try to make fast gains. And them fast gains is not always the best way to go about doing this investing thing.
I know personally in my portfolio, when I first was investing into Disney for a long length of time while I had Disney in my portfolio, it was under the time frame when they had eliminated their dividend. They have since reinstated it, but I've been through that situation of holding an investment that was a dividend payer, but it was on hold for an extended amount of time. And it even happens with the dividend aristocrats. It could even happen with the dividend king. I think it'll be very rare. A dividend aristocrat's been paying and increasing their dividend for 25 years, and a king is for 50 years. But one example of that has happened recently is AT&T, after being at the aristocrat level, had an adjustment to their dividend payout. It's better to find a balance of the quality of your investment and make sure you're balancing that with the dividend payment that they have. So I know for me, a monthly dividend payer that I have in my portfolio, but I'm actually slightly down on, is Realty Income, ticker symbol O.
Right now, currently, Realty Income is the only dividend, monthly dividend paying investment that I currently own long term, and it's
Mhm.
down, but it's only slightly. It's like maybe not even 1%, something like that. It's like almost at break even, but I'm
Okay.
still getting those monthly dividends on a regular basis. They have not cut their monthly dividends, so I'm not worried as to I don't have any worries as far as is my investment safe or anything like that. Not as of yet, because I just continue to do my research and I continue to stay involved in the news that's going on with realty income, so that I can move accordingly if any changes do happen. Because you know me, like if the business model of the company changed, then maybe it's time for me to invest my capital elsewhere.
For me right now, I'm still trying to build up my position. So I'm not pulling my dividends out. They're either going to go into my, remain in my cash balance or just be reinvested back into the same, just have the drip on and just have it automatically going back into the same investment. It is taxable income, your dividend payments. So you got to just take everything about your investing into account when you're trying to make your plan. I have 3 monthly paying dividend investments right now, which are Realty Income, SPHD, and Main Street Capital. Anything else you want to share on topic number 1, high yield dividend stocks? They may be appealing due to their income potential, but there are things to consider, and is it really worth it?
I can't remember the content creator's name, but they were sharing their portfolio, and they had one really extremely high dividend paying company. And I looked at
Mhm.
the company and did a little research. I'm like, they had to be chasing the high yield, but they were in the video complaining about them being so significantly down in that position. I'm not making any money. I got all of these thousands of dollars invested into this high dividend paying company. I'm getting a nice dividend, but I'm down. I'm down
But your
almost
share price is
8%. I'm
in the
like,
dump.
wow, yeah.
Okay. So,
That's just something that I want a lot of people to be aware of. Like, don't be in a hurry to make a profit. So quick in a hurry to make a profit. Slow and steady wins the race at the end of the day.